Hi guys. So we're going to do the exam review now. The first two questions will not be on the exam. It'll be I'll be changing that. It'll be similar to the ones from exam 3 where you had to use applications of logarithms and exponentials. So be prepared for that. Obviously practice some of those and I think you'll be okay. Remember I give you the formulas for those. Um, and just another thing I want to note, if you guys see errors in my work somewhere, please question it, ask me, and I'll make sure that it's good. I don't want fake or false information going around where I put a wrong negative sign or positive sign where there should be a negative or anything like that. I'll try to correct the videos the best I can. I unfortunately don't spend enough time editing because I have so many I have to make. Um, I pumped out 200 plus videos or 150 plus videos in like a couple months here, so okay, let's get going. So it says solve the following equation. So we're going to solve part 2a. This is square root 2x plus 1 is equal to x minus 2. Well, let's get rid of the square root. We need to square both sides. Sorry, that's an ugly 2. So if we square both sides, this becomes 2x plus 1. And if we FOIL this out, x squared minus 4x plus 4. Combine like terms. X squared minus 6x plus 3. Okay, is equal to 0. 3 is prime, so the only multiples are 3 and 1, and that will not add up to 6 in any way or form. So we need to use probably quadratic formula. X equals negative 6 plus or minus the square root of negative 6 squared minus 4 times 3 times 1 all over 2 times 1, which is x is equal to 6 plus or minus the square root of 36 minus 12 over 2, which is 3 plus or minus the square root of 24 over 2. And then 4 goes into this. This is 4 times 6, so this is 3 plus or minus square root of 4 times square root 6 over 2. Cancel, cancel, which is 3 plus or minus the square root of 6. Now, the square root of 6 falls between a square root of 4 and the square root of 9, which means it's about 2 point something. So if we do 3 plus 2 point something, that's 5. And if we do 3 minus 2 point something, that's about 1, which is still positive. So that's important because we have to check solutions. So if we were to check this, we have the square root of 2 times 3 plus the square root of 6 plus 1 is equal to 3 plus square root 6 minus 2. Okay, so this is going to be square root of 6 plus 2 square root 6 plus 1. 1 plus square root 6. As long as I've done the math correctly, this should be a real solution. The thing I'm mainly checking is that this is positive, because if it's negative, obviously it won't be a real solution. So I'm going to assume this one checks out as long as I've done this problem correctly. So we'll just check and make sure that's positive. If it is, we'll assume it's correct. And then we'll go from there. So now let's do it one more time. We have square root of 2 times 3 plus minus square root 6 plus 1 is equal to minus square root 6 minus 2, which is 1 minus the square root of 6. Well, we said this is about 2 point something, so 1 minus 2 point something is going to be negative something. So this side's negative, the square root can't be negative, so 3 minus square root 6 cannot be a solution to this. Okay. Reason we know a square root can't equal a negative number. That's all that I'm really checking for in this case. Let's do the next one. We're going to do part C actually instead of part... let's do part B. We have 2b log x plus 1 is equal to log 2x minus 4. Now this only happens if x plus 1 is equal to 2x minus 4 since the logs are the same, which gives minus x plus 4. This is 5 is equal to x, so x equals 5. If we plug that into here, we have log 5 of 6 is equal to 10 minus 2, which is 6, so we know that one will work. That one checks out pretty easily. Remember, just make sure that this part is positive because in every one, because if it isn't, then it's undefined, and that would mean that it can't be a solution. We'll do part C now. We have log 2 of 2x minus 4 plus log 2 of x plus 4 is equal to 4. Well, these are all base 2, so let's combine these real quick. These two are being added, so we have log 2 of 2x minus 4, x plus 4 is equal to 4. Now we can raise this to the power 2 to the fourth, and 2 to the log 2 of that is going to give us 2x minus 4 times x plus 4 is equal to 2 to the 4 is 16. This is 2x squared minus plus 8x minus 4x minus 16 is equal to 16. 2x squared plus 4x, we minus the 16, this is minus 32 is equal to 0. Okay, so we can factor out a 2. We have x squared plus 2x minus 16. Okay, so if we wanted to solve this, multiplies to 16, adds up to 2. 8 and 2, no. 1 and 16, no. I don't think it works, but maybe I'm wrong. No. The multiples of 16 are 2 and 8, 4 and 4. It doesn't work. Okay, so we're going to use quadratic formula. X equals negative 2 plus or minus the square root of 2 squared minus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is negative 16, all over 2 times 1, which gives us negative 2, 4 plus 64, negative 2 plus or minus the square root of 68 over 2, which is negative 1 plus or minus the square root of 68 over 2. 68 is 4 times 4 goes into 17. So this is negative 1 plus or minus 2 square root 17 over 2, which is negative 1 plus square root 17. So plus or minus square root 17. Square root of 17 is going to be 4 point something. Negative 1 plus 4 is going to be positive. Negative 1 minus 4 is going to be negative. So the minus probably won't work. Let's check the original just to make sure. Yeah. So if we plug, it might not work on either, but we can at least see. So we're looking at log 2 of negative 1 plus square root 17 minus 4 is equal to log 2, oops, no, I'm sorry, not equal to, is plus log 2 of negative 1 plus square root 17 plus 4 is equal to 4. I'll have nicer ones probably on the test anyway, so you won't get these square root 17s and things. Let's make sure this is positive. This is 2 times something that's basically 2 times 4. 2 times 3 actually. 2 times 3 is about 6. So if that's 6, 6 minus 4 is positive. If we do the next one, this is going to be positive. So this will probably add up to what we want it to. Okay, so that will be good. This one checks out, and if we do the negative now, we have 2. Well, this one is going to fail. -1 minus square root 17 minus 4. Let's just look at this real quick. I won't write everything. This is going to be -4 and -5-ish. We'll just estimate 2 times negative. We'll just estimate it at -5. This is going to be log 2 of -10 minus 4, which is log 2 of -14. No, this is undefined, not no solution. Okay, so that one doesn't work. So we can say 1 plus square root 17 works. 1 minus square root 17. Sorry, -1 does not work. Okay, so you'd have one solution there. Make sure you check them. And then finally, we have 4 to the 3x is equal to 16x plus 3. These both have different bases. This is part D. We have 2 to the 2 to the 3x is equal to 2 to the 4 to the x minus plus 3, which is, notice the base is the same. This is going to be 2 times 3x is equal to 4 times x plus 3. This is 6x is equal to 4x plus 12. 2x is equal to 12, which gives x is equal to 6. You can plug it in and see that it works. That's all you need to know for this video, guys. I know these problems were a little bit challenging because we had to use the quadratic formula a few times, but it's good practice. You won't always have to do that, though. You can factor sometimes. All right. I think on the test you probably will. Thank you, guys.